Daniel, coming off of a spring break trip to Orlando, Florida, you got to see and compete against schools that Whitworth normally doesn't get to see and compete against. Talk about how we did and the performances we had there.
Sure. So yeah, we played a few new schools. First match against Union College from New York. Honestly, a bit of a disaster. Kind of expected it to be. It's the first match in new climate, extremely humid, very hot, which we're just not used to. So just took a bit of getting used to. The guys were, just kind of slow and tired. We had one guy go down with pretty bad cramping. So that's kind of to be expected. The first match over spring break is usually not great. Then we had two really close matches with Augustana, which I believe is in Illinois, and DePaul, which I think is in Indiana. So lost 5-4 to both of them. Definitely winnable. A few things go our way. Had quite a few close matches that we ultimately lost all of them. Against DePaul we had three set tiebreakers for third sets, and we lost every single one of them. So tough way to lose, but ultimately still good competition, good matches. And then finished off with St. Olaf from Minnesota. And they were definitely the weakest team on paper that we played. Still went down 0-3 after doubles. Doubles was kind of a disaster all week for us. But then we swept singles. So good way to end with a win, and hopefully that carries us into this weekend for the end of our conference matches.
Talk about what a trip like that means for team building, for the cohesion of this group, especially toward the end of the season, and what it can build for next year.
Yeah, so the trip is always really fun. Full week together with the guys, and get to go with the women's team as well. So both teams get to hang out for a week. We just rent a house and hang out outside of matches. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. You don't have the pressure of like classes or anything. It's just you get to play tennis and hang out with the team. So there's a lot of it's just a lot of fun for everybody to be around each other for that amount of time. It was really good for we had a lot of good conversations as a team, especially after the matches. You lose close ones, and it's very easy to kind of get down and have kind of a negative view of maybe your teammates, like the guys who didn't win. They could have obviously turned it for you, but it was a very positive experience for everybody. The team really came together after those close losses, and I think going forward that feeling of everybody being together, having each other's backs, I think that'll be really good going forward for the rest of the season, and hopefully carrying into next year as well.
This weekend, the final conference weekend of the season, going to play at George Fox and Pacific, two of the top three teams in the league the last few seasons. Talk about the challenge and what you hope to get out of this weekend.
Sure. So, Pacific is our first match of the weekend. That'll be the most important one for us. If we beat Pacific, we'll make it to the conference tournament. If we don't, we will not. So that's really the breaker for our entire season, essentially, against them. They lost a lot of their top guys from last year. One transferred to D1 school. I think they graduated like 3, and another one transferred. So they're weaker than they have been, but they're still very good. So it'll definitely be a challenge. We're going to work a lot this week on doubles, especially because that was for sure a weak point over spring break. But it's a very winnable match. The guys are going to be very motivated for it, knowing that match is kind of deciding the rest of our season for us. For George Fox, it'll be tough. They're for sure the best team in our conference. They're definitely better than we are across the board if you look at the matchups. But what's nice about tennis is if we show up and we're motivated, we have a good day, and they maybe kind of relax a little bit, thinking they're just going to roll over us. Some things can happen there. They have lost matches, individual matches, to schools in the conference that are weaker than we are. So it's there. It's we're not necessarily going in thinking we're for sure going to win this, but like it's at least a possibility as long as we don't go in thinking we're going to lose. So that'll be a big talking point this week. And then we actually finish up with Willamette. We have a third match, which is not normal, but they're probably the weakest team in the conference this year, but they still have some good players at the top, so it'll still be a good challenge. And very much we can't look past them. Like, I mean, similar to us playing George Fox, like if we relax playing Willamette, we could very easily find ourselves losing that match. So definitely staying motivated and hopefully coming out of there with a couple wins, but the biggest one being Pacific for sure.